Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Tourism is expected to make a greater contribution to the Caribbean's gross domestic product GDP. While the region's overall growth is strong, there are some headwinds to overcome. Javon Keys reports.
Speaking at the Caribbean Travel Forum in Montego Bay, St. James, President of the Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association, Nicola Madden-Gregg, says currently the sector accounts for 13.7% of the region's output.
And that's projected to go as far as 14.2% in 2032. In terms of jobs, the Caribbean's dependency for jobs in tourism is 15.6% in 2019 of total jobs, and is projected to go up to 17.7% by 2032. In 2023, we were at 15.2%.
And for 2024 so far?
We are seeing for Q1 international arrivals from global regions versus the same period last year. We are up 10%, but it's a little bit slow in terms of the rest of the Americas. They're catching up to us because they are up 13% in the Americas. The rest of the Americas up 15%. Africa and the Middle East now up 8%, Europe up 10%, and Asia Pacific up 46%. And overall global international arrivals up 19%.
Locally, the trends have been positive for both arrivals and demand for the destination.
Up above the 2023 numbers. And again, UK, USA, Canada, Spain also up. Germany again seems to be consistent with that, and that's probably related to flight. But we are seeing good numbers there. But let's look into the future. We are noticing for Jamaica for Q2, 3 going forward, a slight trending down in terms of demand.
She says the U.S. travel advisory and other factors may be behind the marginal fall-off in interest.
We do have two wars that are, out there, so that will temper. This is also a year we have the Olympics. This is also an election year for the U.S., which tends to damper U.S. travel demand somewhat. But again, these are things, some of these things we put effort behind, so we increase our marketing efforts to mitigate against any sort of fallout. So we continue to work on that mitigation strategy. It just means more horsepower behind us in terms of our marketing. But I don't believe that the Caribbean will be seeing any major downturn. We can continue to grow.
For the Business Day, I'm Javon Keys.
Jamaica's policy interest rate remains at 7%. Based on lower inflation trends, the Central Bank's Monetary Policy Committee says the rate offered to deposit-taking institutions on overnight placements will remain. Annual inflation as at April was 5.3%, falling within the BOJ's 4 to 6% target range for a second straight month. In its report, the BOJ said while inflation is moderating, it is still not firmly within the target range and future inflation could be higher than projected. Additionally, wage-related pressures, higher than projected oil prices, and higher inflation expectations could cause average prices to rise above the target. However, lower than projected inflation could be driven by weaker than projected global growth, which could reduce domestic demand and imported inflation. Foreign exchange trading ended today with banks and cambios selling the American dollar for an average $156.83. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $115.40. $199.26 is the average value of the pound, while the euro is going for $173.31. And to the stock market now, the JSE index lost 811 points today, while the junior market advanced by 14 points. Among the 42 winners, Access Financial Services, AMG Packaging and Paper Company, KLE Group, Cygnus Credit Investments US dollar shares, and Paramount Trading Jamaica. The 42 losers include The Lab, Jamaica Stock Exchange, Caribbean Assurance Brokers, Honeybun, and Caribbean Producers Jamaica. 25 stocks traded firm. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.